we go to get better talk today with the leader for our War of Independence, Dr. Ayaba Cho. The story today, now one of the most important story with the Ambazonian people, the 1 year ancestor from the leader. The story big. The story today, now all about the talk the way the international community for bring La Republique and Ambazonian for table. So today, we go inside, make our people the hear from the leader SSF about who's our diplomacy day, now which kind talk, which kind diplomacy, which kind negotiation Ambazonian people they expect for get La Republique du Cameroon. All right? So, now big story because it be very important for the future of our country and for the freedom of our country. It be very important for place where we go. It be very important make we get a sense of direction for place where things that they go. Now for who side the leader they now what you remember for doa, we go to get this conversation with the leader. All right. So the story plenty where we go leave Ambazonia to go call in. Also, Muna Sabi say they say when the leader come out, he don't launch that program where they call and say Ambazonia Defense Stabilization Plan. So we go ask you about all this one them. So today na time where people you go call in while you make your commitment for the stabilization plan, you go ask your question directly. You raise your concern. You talk for the leader. When the leader come out, na time for you for interact with the people them. Na time for we for do the heavy lifting where the leader don't talk am. So the story is over big and it over plenty. We will bring the leader small time. We na share and we all man. May all we can't get this story. Who's are things they do for diplomacy? Who's are they? Now what did it happen? Now what did it come? Now which kind of negotiation we need for expect them? So the story is big. And how all this one it relate with the plan for the defense stabilization. Now how it relate? Now how the defense stabilization go work out? Now what you need for CM for ground zero? Now what the international community they expect for we? The story is plenty. So we dinner for a marathon. The leader dinner for a marathon race. When I see just come up for finish for talk for that side for AC and TV for talk about the election for United States, for talk about the letter way Nagitibo right arm, for congratulate Oga Biden and Madam Harris for congratulate them for the election and for which the Ambazonia expect them for the new administration of the United States. And then he talk about letter for Nagitibo. Then he talk about what did happen for ground zero. Then now he come for here for can educate the people, inspire the people, raise money for defense for ground zero, give clarity. Dr. Ayaba, what a leader! So we go to bring the leaders more time as we invite all people them. Make them know say the leader as we put information outside. We talk say today the leader will talk for the people them. Now very important conversation. I know say all my skin it is shake. All my heart is sweet. Me they can hear what the leader will talk about the negotiations now and what the Ambazonian people need for expect them. So we know say today na Sunday. So when I invite all man, make all man come well, all man come fine. All right. All right. Thank you very much. So we also, as right now, we broadcast directly from ground zero. So make you, when I know say they say, what people for ground zero, for all our mami them, all Ambazonians, then they go to watch through the satellite for their TV them. When I go to listen also for our leader today, he go to talk on directly for ground zero, how all the things them where the leader they try for doing. Whether not the defense strategy for ground or not the diplomatic strategy. Now, how together all these things them they go give Ambazonia people them freedom and independence. All right. So we go start small time. I want to take the time for salute all our friends and with the day. I want to take the time first of all make a salute all our people them. I just get make a start by salute first our defense forces. I just see some video where they send up for me. We come up for the great state of Manu. I see some video will come up for the great state of Manu. I want to thank all our forces them, all Ambazonia soldier them, for the great state of Manu. I just see video wey come out from Manu where they send them for me. It never stay. As when I take down one of La République du Cameroon, their colonial military truck. They take down the truck. They, they kumkumize the driver when an army man, na B truck. They kumkumize the truck. Now so boys them who have defense forces them for that side from Manu. They kumkumize La République military truck. Chakara all the tire them. They ambush the truck. Kumkumize them. Knock driver one time. Boom! The motor chakara. So I want cut cafe for all our defense forces them for that side from Manu. For all the fighters them. Where they don't rise up. For challenge La République du Cameroon occupation. For defend and for protect our people them. Accord with a cafe. Our defense forces them for the great state of Manu. We'll be very proud of the great work we will do them for teach La République du Cameroon a lesson as to why they did for Ambazonia. I want to thank all our forces them for all across the 13 states. I want to thank the overall Grand Commander, the General Efang, when I command all the forces them for Ground Zero, the big man, the top general for the Ambazonia Defense Forces, General Efang. We salute you and we say thank you. Lieutenant General Popo, we salute all una. General Sumanguru, we salute all una. General Hassan, the big general for this great state of Bui, we salute all una. General Capo, General Ebube, General Small Pikin, we salute you. Captain Small Pikin, we also cut you cafe for all place where we want serve our people then. For all our other forces and commanders then. We want to say, we'll be very proud for the great work we want to do for give the Ambazonian people then the freedom where they deserve them and for make sure say the Ambazonian people they get their independence. We want thank una for say any place where La République du Cameroon, they are administrator them, or whether they get in a colonial office. We want thank una say una di chakara all the place for dismantle all La République du Cameroon colonial institutions Ambazonia. Anything when La République du Cameroon for Ambazonia, it must go down. Whether na their army camp, whether na their B camp, whether na their gendarme station, whether na their police station, whether na their colonial courts, whether na their colonial taxation office or their treasury, or their SDO's office, DO's office, everything La République du Cameroon for Ambazonia, it must go down. This generation, it don't woke up now for put an end to Cameroon's occupation. And so the defiance of this generation, the rise up of this generation, the confidence of this generation, the courage of this generation, it don't move the Ambazonian struggle from a people where the world not be know we to a people where we don't reach for the highest level of international system because we challenge the fraud, we challenge Cameroon occupation, and we don't make the world know say Ambazonia and Cameroon are two different states. Cameroon, their presence for Ambazonia, now an act of annexation and occupation. And this generation, with the bleed La République du Cameroon, and they go ever regret why they be ever invade Ambazonia. La République du Cameroon, for the rest of their life, they are picking them, their great-great-grand picking them. They go always live for shame as to why they be their papa and their mommy them. They become occupy Ambazonia and commit genocide for Ambazonia. La République will go teach La République a lesson. Where for the rest of their history, they no go ever forget them. Ambazonia go make La République as a country, it no go fit for exist. By the time we want finish with La République, as a country, La République no go exist again. Now just the beginning. The bankruptcy, when money not there for their country, that one at the beginning. The political crisis, that one at the beginning. The one where poor people don't run, yeah, the woman don't run. That one at just the beginning. Wait till the camp for La République du Cameroon, they never see no nothing. So, my people don't do very well. What defense forces them. They don't give Ambazonia them a hope where the world never ever seen before. And because of what defense forces, today, the world is listening for the Ambazonian people. The freedom of Ambazonia be guaranteed. Now the leader go can't talk that, palaver that story. So my people then, make we join in, make a bring in the leader, make we start the big story. Make we start the story.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the beep.
I'll give you a moment here.
What's happening?
Good afternoon, leader of Ambazonia War of Independence. You did so today. You did not for marathon. You did like how did they call that that boy where they run mountain race? Timothy Lecruze.
I have a meeting. I have a very important meeting in 5 minutes. I reported to you. So maybe once we can get started, once the meeting kicks off, I'm gonna step out, deal with the meeting, and come back in.
That's fine. Today, did I say go talk small pidgin? This one way you run a marathon. You start from you come out, you go for ACN, you go run day, you go talk about and then you don't.
Today na pidgin talk. Not English. I don't tell when I say no joke, no day. You see, each time I start for talk pidgin, I soon I start for laugh.
Ambazonians, una don't hear today no. Una leader don't talk pidgin today. At least una had on sweet small. Good afternoon, sir.
All right. Good afternoon, yes. Thanks for your patience, man.
We understand a lot that's on your plate.
It's overwhelming. Trust me, it's overwhelming. But I think I'm good for it.
All right. It's there's a lot going on. You have a lot of meetings going on. Most Ambazonians don't know where you are diplomatically. We've received a lot of questions about where is AGOVC diplomatically. Ambazonians say you are too discreet. You don't want to give them information. They don't. How can they trust that what you are telling them is true? So, what would you tell Ambazonians about where the war of independence is diplomatically? Where are they?
I think they can. I understand Ambazonians are always, they want to know a lot for good reason. Ambazonians are free. And so they want to have the puzzle, the big picture. But you don't conduct and we are at the highest level. More than any other liberation struggle that have been fought in the past have achieved in less than 5 years. We are an international contender. We are a party to the conflict. And are we okay?
We're okay, sir.
All right, good. So Ambazonians should have confidence that as far as international diplomacy is concerned, we have been able to position ourselves as a credible party to the conflict. That has been acknowledged. It's not by me saying it. You can listen to the rhetoric of the international system, whether it's the European Union, the US State Department, the British Foreign Secretary, all countries are talking about, commitment to a process, because they understand there are parties to that process. And the other party, apart from Cameroon, is the Ambazonian party. We have held dozens of meetings with the international system. They are subject to non-disclosure agreements, and we will not break that golden rule. We also have communicated to the Ambazonian people our position in various press releases. The Vice President, Dr. Julius Ni, has communicated that the Secretary of State, Dr. Larry Ayaba, has communicated our position with respect to the Swiss process, with respect to U.S. government positions, with respect to the United Nations. We are confident that we have been able to alter the direction that the international system had prescribed, because that direction was leading us to stagnation and reintegration within the status quo of colonialism. We believe very strongly we are at the position now that our position has been clarified, accepted, and seen as credible enough to alter the direction that they had prescribed. We also know that you can't speak with yourself. One of our criticisms of the Swiss process was the attitude of the Swiss taking us like boys, putting us in classrooms to teach us about the art of negotiation. We thought, one, it defeated their position of impartiality, and second, it makes us look weak in the eyes of the occupier. We have communicated our reservations directly, and I think that has been well understood. We also know that we must find alternative systems that can provide the anchoring that we will need in terms of our human resources and our capacity. We are working on that seriously. I will be able to brief the Amazonian people in due course once these things become public. Respect for liberation struggles and leadership is grounded in the ability of leaders and institutions to respect agreements. That's the spirit of Amazonia. Cameroon does not do that. So be confident, but also, when you listen to me carefully, telling you about the necessity to strengthen ground zero and to explain the correlation between diplomacy and right to self-defense, I have constantly communicated the fact that without ground zero, diplomacy is useless. There will be no diplomacy. Our ability to be respected, to be treated with respect as a party, is not because we communicate, it's not because we shout, it's not because we send out press releases, it's because we have the power on the ground to create ungovernable spaces that the international system is worried about. If we lose that power, we lose the ability to discuss with the international system. We will discuss with Cameroon as the one that has occupied those ungovernable spaces. That's why I have said it is necessary for us to continuously arm ground zero, raise a credible force that can provide assurances to our people in terms of protection, in terms of guarantee of their safety, in terms of movement, in terms of stamping out extortion and kidnapping for ransom, in terms of projecting power to the international system, that we are ready to fill those ungovernable spaces and be the anchor for stability in the Gulf of Guinea.
You talked about the international system wanting to prescribe a specific approach to negotiation. What was it that they were prescribing, and what is it now that they are prescribing?
The first response by the international system to armed conflict is to stop the fighting. Fighting gives the oppressor an opportunity to alter the direction of politics of it gives the oppressed the ability to alter the direction of policy by the oppressor. And it changes the battleground for negotiation from the domestic to the international. Each time the international system intervenes in a conflict, it is not based on the objective of that resistance. It is based on humanitarian issues. It is based on the displacement of people. It is based on violation of international human rights and humanitarian law. And so their first premise is to make sure that they can stop the fighting. And when the fighting is stopped, to whose advantage will that be? It will be to Cameroon's advantage.
Right.
The second indicator that you can use to determine the direction of the international system and whether a particular process would represent, your aspiration is the nature of the process. The Swiss process was a joke. It's a joke. Even, anyone who's done diplomacy or studied the international system 101, the Swiss process was a joke. They didn't even know the parties. They didn't confuse themselves. And so they also understood that we were amateurs in this endeavor. And they knew that any opportunity thrown at us would be taken immediately as a recognition of Amazonia. And once we pointed out the gaps in the process, it opened their eyes that we are not amateurs. We read the books of history on how 1961 went, how Cameroon manipulated the process to occupy Amazonia.
Okay.
Those clarity were very important to educate the international system and to let them understand we are quite determined to achieve the objectives. Now, you ask, what is it they are prescribing now? Normally, in terms of international negotiation to resolve a conflict and address the root causes, you have to show respect for the parties. I cannot just simply come in here and tell you that you are a man on board. Or I come in here and say, Ayaba, how are you? I cannot ascribe that name to you. Okay, and so the international system cannot describe us as a geographic location of Cameroon. That means the context of any discussion would be within that prior definition. And we have insisted, if you want to be neutral, if you say you are a neutral party, you have to call us who we call ourselves Ambazonians. We're not asking you to recognize us as independent. We're simply asking you to call us who we call ourselves. And I'm so glad that is taking place. I have been in meetings where the parties are called La République du Cameroun, it's called Amazonia, and that was very, very comforting. There is still a long way to go. There is still a long way to go. But I think we have moved from the position that we were in the past to a higher level based on the stamina that we have put thus far.
You have also told the Ambazonian people, Ambazonians are scared of one thing about you right now. There is one thing Ambazonians are afraid of. Yeah. You have made the Ambazonia Defense Forces to be too powerful. Ambazonia Defense Forces is really too powerful. And Ambazonians are afraid that because you control the biggest and most powerful defense force on the ground, you're going to use that as a leverage in terms of your leadership capacity to spearhead the negotiations alone.
Just keep going.
All right. I know you probably sent a message. This is a very important question.
Yeah. I understand. I understand those concerns. That I've learned in the way actors or leaders it is based on studying, what they have said before and how they lived up to those wordings. It is also based on character. I fought on the street for democracy. I bled on the street for democracy. I didn't bleed for tyranny. And so I understand that Amazonians are concerned whether we will use the Amazonian Defense Forces to install an autocracy or an A or C only kind of governance. It's because the Amazonians do not understand the trajectory of war of independence. the first thing we have to understand in life and in liberation struggle, first business of every leader is to recognize the existence of us. Winning the war is easier than winning the peace and securing the peace. If you want to guarantee post-independence political stability, that is the basis for development and prosperity.
That's true.
We must win as a people. We have to win as a people. And I want to assure Ambazonians that the way our struggle is constituted is not totally different from the way other struggles have been. In every liberation struggles, there are dominant groups. In South Africa, it was the ANC. The ANC was in alliance with the Workers' Party, the Communists. In Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe moved to the Lancaster House discussion with two other groups. In Sri Lanka, there were other groups later reintegrated. In Eritrea, there were more than one group who later formed an alliance. So it should not bother.
Power off.
We will talk, we will negotiate as Ambazonians. I have said this. There will be an expert-led negotiating team that will not be constituted simply from within movements. You will find the best men and women with the ability to understand the issues at bar across our community, constitute them, make sure they can build a credible team. That's one block. This is the struggle that is led by prisoners of war, is led by the IDPs have to be represented, our refugees have to be represented, our civil society have to be represented, our forces have to be represented. I have communicated to our forces. What will be your position on A, B, C, and D? I received a communication back. I communicated to our prisoners of war. What will be your position on A, B, C, and D? They've communicated back. We will take those positions and put them together to form the political basis of discussion. The political basis of discussion will represent the basis of the aspirations of the Amazonian people. The expert-led group will be another block. You have the political leadership, from where the expert-led group will derive authority to speak. But to make decisions, you have to come back to the political leadership. Depending on the nature of our resistance going forward, that political leadership block will be put together by most of the actors and active participants within our struggle. There will be powerful voices inside with more power than others. That is normal. In society, not everyone is the same. And then you have the POW block. You have the activists. We have this revolution has been led by activists. You have the Baramak, the Tapangs, and the others yourself. There are people who held these revolutions together before the groups, nationalist groups, and civil society groups really took over. And so they will constitute to make sure that we as a people form the foundation of the things that we want to talk about to be acceptable to everyone across the board. And then, once we are moving closer to terminating Cameroon's occupation, we will be moving into the transition phase. In the transition phase, all of us will sit together and constitute a transitional authority with the powers to work on the constitution. Different groups have worked on draft constitutions.
Yes.
Different groups have worked on electoral codes. They've worked on their economic philosophy. They've worked on several things. The transitional authority that will bring in civil society, the different nationalist groups, and stakeholders in our struggle who might not be in groups, but are powerful voices, to take those various ideas on the structure of the system, on the constitutional proposal, to build kind of a system that will be handed to the Amazonian people, to now organize a free and fair election to move from transition to governance. It's a meticulous process. One group cannot simply do it. And I think, one group does not have all the expertise to be able to do it. Amazonians must trust my word. They can deduce from my character, they can deduce from what I have done and I have said before. They can trust the Amazonian Governing Council. It has always spoken on behalf of our people. It has always made policies that are going to be reasonably accepted by the Amazonian people.
Now, you've laid out a plan, the Ambazonia Defense Stabilization Plan. How is this plan, how useful is this plan in terms of the diplomatic currency that...
Yes. All right. I have to get into, it's a very important meeting.
All right, sir. All right, my fellow Ambazonians. Now the marathon that way, the leader for our War of Independence, they inside. Like the guy, they always constantly on the go, non-stop. He come out for talk for the people them for defense. He go to come out for talk for the people them for the international system. He go to try for lead the various departments them within the organization. You know, at the same time, they try for see how, you know, materials they fit come up from point A, they enter from point B. How we make sure say this block it be supplied, that block be supplied, that block be protected. You know, like the public move now from which place to which place. Now which kind of plan the fit put them rapidly, quickly in place. So now a very busy man, but it be very focused and very effective. We apologize, say the conversation he cut short, but now he live this. Now they can't work that way, they work as soon as they see him. Now so phone call that they come out all kind side because the revolution they move for a speed. The speed really big. The speed the speed they very fast with the revolution they move there. So I hope say when I go understand with the leader, and we don't know how long that meeting will take. We would like for continue this conversation. So I no go want make we continue with the leader no day because I get plenty questions where people don't send them. And people they want answers. Ambazonia they want answers from their leader. They want understand. Because it give a sense of confidence for our people them. Right? It give a sense of confidence for our people them. And it help our people them, you know, make them stay focused and they stay committed. So while we for continue with this discussion, I want to take the time I want honor one of our papa for that side of America where his birthday be just been 2 days ago. Yes, this papa, he and his family, that he do a lot for the Ambazonian people them. So I want just take the time for honor he and for tell he happy birthday, papa. I want also honor a family from America. This papa, one papa and one mommy and one papa from America. They bring their picking them together. Now the second family this, where the papa and the woman, the papa and one mommy, they don't come together. They bring their picking them together for contribute money for this Ambazonia Defense Stabilization Plan with Dr. Ayaba don't launch them. The first family 2 weeks ago, they put $5,000. One papa with the mommy and their 3 picking them from America. They put $5,000. This other family too, they don't put $5,000. One papa and one mommy and they are picking them. They are 3 picking them. They put $5,000. They contribute for Ambazonia Defense Stabilization. And these people then are very high intellectuals and professionals from America. Ambazonians, they don't be well established for America, and they make the Ambazonian community very strong for America. Because now well established people them, where they come from America, they work very hard for become powerful people them for America. So when they see the liberation of homeland, when the leader call and he explain them for all Ambazonians, why he be say we need for contribute, for make commitment for that stabilization plan. Because if, as the leader talking for we, without a powerful defense for ground, diplomacy be useless. Without a powerful defense for ground, this thing will go back for one Cameroon. Because Cameroon go take back Ambazonia. The leader be explaining. Papa and mommy, they understand them. They put $5,000. I want to also thank our families them for that side for Atlanta. Where they come together, they hear the leader call, they all come together. A small group of people, they come together. They contribute $4,300. Just a very small group of people there. For the stabilization plan. Because they want a free Ambazonia. Because they know say what people they don't suffer for too long under Cameroon occupation. The leader talks, they say 500 Ambazonians where they only give $1,000 each. It go help we move for that level where the world need for see we project a powerful force for ground. A lot of the things already happen for ground. Now because we get all these plenty soldiers, because of the territory big and they all want fight like the Republic of Cameroon, all the soldiers they don't spread them for all across Ambazonia. So we need to build a concentrated force. A force where it big and it powerful for bring order, for bring stability, for bring peace, for stabilize ground zero. Like what happened for Kumba, it not be fit for happen because you go get a force of almost over 250 well equipped. It go fit move in for Kumba, La Republic go run. We need to build that force now. While we get all the block by block forces where they do an incredible work. Now we need a force where we go project Ambazonia. Now the force will feel move on. We enter for Boya. They just pick Okala Bilai like small ant. Put them for back. Tie them. Carry them go down. Now first we feel enter for Boya. They take over the Prime Minister's lodge. They take over the colonial governor's mansion. Take over the SDO. Take over the DO's office. Now that kind of force we need for Bilam now. Now the purpose this for the Ambazonia Defense Stabilization Plan. So the leader they call all Ambazonians. Diplomacy they move faster. So we need to be excited because we want to make our people they get a different Christmas. For that defense stabilization plan too, that means when we create this kind of force, it means we will get areas where we don't really liberate them, and then we start to move what people they stay for inside plenty bush. We start to move them for that place for can live for safe communities where they will be well defended, well protected. For those places, we start for build big community school them for all what beginning where they don't stay for bush. Maybe they can't stay for safe communities. We start for build small hospital them, clinic. For those communities, we now go start the work for Ambazonia Transition Authority. For start for build small institutions and for ground. For start for run a country. Because we fit protect what people them. We fit defend what people them. We fit protect territory. We fit carry out small businesses that fit start for run within those territories. Where people fit start for get normal lives for places they don't be liberated. If we hear say like what will happen, if we hear say Palava Day for some community, you will get this big force immediately go move that place. If we hear say La Republic, it terrorize our people then. This big force, it go feel able to move broad daylight. Where La Republic go start for pig ball run. So Now the purpose this for Ambazonia stabilization plan. We need for bring order for ground zero. We need for create a force we go act as a deterrence to La République du Cameroon and to all the small thief people them way that they use this revolution for the do kidnapping for ransom, for the go threaten our people them for force them for take money, for forces them where they will go to put small roadblock them for road them, for checkpoint, for collect take money for Ambazonia because they carry gun. This force go fit for move for those kind of place and for stop all these unwanted activities. For build confidence within what people them. What people need for know and for see so be a powerful people. What forces they be so spread across Ambazonia, what people didn't really see how much power we get them for ground. So this force, it will be in the special forces of within the Ambazonia Defense Forces. You know the army for Ambazonia. They already start the work for these things, and not get the authority for what you already donate them so far. Una go be very proud of what you already come in. For what you already donate them so far. Any man we don't donate your $100, your $500, your $1,000, your $5,000. Una go be very proud for what you already come in. When they show una heart go over sweet. For waiting the Ambazonia Defense Forces, the bill and for the Ambazonian people them. It go make our people them very proud. As the person where the leader don't put them as a coordinator for this plan, every week, anything where they come in every week, the materials until they come in every week. So we need to wait until all man don't put the 500,000 together and then we start for wait. No. Anything will come in at the end of the week, it already go. Things they enter. So time go there where they will clear all the security things for those things. I hope so they will give we enough time where I go come, do a presentation for una, for show una waiting una do already produce them. They build the force already. Effective training that it take place from many parts of Ambazonia. Things that come in on a weekly basis. So we now get the confidence of this leadership. Now a no joke, we need to joke with our people their lives. We need to joke with the aspirations of our people. Now guns and bullets, the whole arm. We deal now with the most tyrannical system for Africa. We deal now with the most brutal dictator for the world right now. They will not be a political game. Now a game of survival for our people them. So we need to take them as a joke. We get tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of our people they stay for bush. So not be a joking matter. We get hundreds of thousands where they don't become refugees. So not be a joking matter. We get our brothers and sisters where they don't catch in their thousands. They suffer. They die for prisons. So not be a joking matter. That's why we get for take the defense stabilization very serious. Because now I go give you the power for Project Ambazonia to the world. For say, as we already beat La République du Cameroon, we go start for fill in the gap where we create them by making the territory ungovernable. The game don't finish for La République du Cameroon, my people. Now they end this for La République du Cameroon. And never again for the history of the Ambazonian people. Say a people where were papa, were great-grand, were forefathers. They grant them asylum. Give them chop. Hide them. They come out. They can't occupy Ambazonia. Not be this generation. we go end that nonsense. We go end that nonsense. Ambazonia, Cameroon must leave Ambazonia by all means necessary. No gendarme, no bee, no army, no colonial police in Ambazonia. Any place where we not see any of them, they must leave Ambazonia. No DO, no SDO for Ambazonia. Any man we dey inside Ambazonia in the name for administer the Cameroon occupation of Ambazonia, an enemy. Because colonialism na a crime against humanity. Occupation na a crime. La République don't take Ambazonia since 1961 like their farm, like their slaves. No, we must reclaim our humanity. We must redeem ourselves and send these people to the gate of hell. La République must go. There is no room for Cameroon, for Ambazonia. They must go. La République must leave. By fire, by force, they must leave. There's no joke. They must go. So any place where you there for Ambazonia, una mobilize una selves, una chase them out. Chase them out. They no go get no rest. They no go get no sleep until they leave Ambazonia. They don't kill more than 20,000 of our people then. Born Wamami them alive. Video just come out yesterday. Where they catch young boys and they put them for ground. They scatter their head them with bullets. We don't want these people for our land. They must go. We call on all our communities. We not say these people chop. Any place where we not see them, we not stone them. They must go. Ambazonia must become hell to anything La République. We not see their flag, we not burn them. Anything La République for Ambazonia. Oh. Let's see the leader don't come back. Oh, welcome back. That was a surprise. That was a surprise. Welcome back, sir. Sir, if you can just move back a little bit, it will be better.
Okay. And sometimes I need some support here.
Perfect. Well, welcome back. I was on fire while you left.
You're always on fire. You're always on fire. So where were we?
Well, before you interrupted me, I was we were talking about the diplomatic approach and how it relates to the stabilization fund, how the stabilization plan is going to really help to give our diplomatic stance the kind of leverage that it deserves. So, what would you tell an average Ambazonian? What is this defense stabilization and how does that relate to diplomatic leverage in terms of our ability to bargain?
This is simple. If Ambazonians understand our journey, I mean, that began the latest phase of this resistance 4 years ago, we struggled to inform the international system about who we are. And we did that by different activities in terms of self-defense, in terms of internationalization and diplomacy. We have been able to establish ourselves as a credible party to be able to talk with the international system. The international system operates on a simple foundation. State parties to the international system have the primary responsibility to resolve conflicts within their borders. Those state parties are given the primary obligation to do that. Only when those state parties are unwilling or are incapable does the international system come in. And that only happens when another party has emerged within that system that challenge of the primaries in the utilization of force and the guarantee for the security and safety of within that space.
Yes.
That is how our emergence has come to play. But realize also that when we emerged, Cameroon was struggling to undermine our emergence. When the international community started talking about the possibility of coming in and helping, Cameroon, moved forward with different activities to undermine our ability, to challenge its authority. It moved forward with organizing fake conferences within its own territory, trying to deceive the international system that it is a credible party that can resolve the conflict. Our strength grew further because while they were putting forward these deceptive advances, we understood early enough that a sizable portion of our population will fall for it. They'll see it as an opportunity to go and have discussion. But we knew that it was a trick to keep the international system out. We kept building things. Now the international system has basically told Cameroon that you are incapable and you are unwilling, and we cannot allow the humanitarian situation, the killings orchestrated by your defeat and by your military, to continue. But for us to maintain that credibility as a party to the conflict, we must be able to show both Cameroon and the international system that we cannot be defeated. That is why we developed the defense stabilization plan to be able to mobilize the resources to sustain our present capability, if not take higher. Secondly, if you erect a credible force on the ground that projects power, it is not only going to benefit diplomacy, it is going to benefit personal security of our people. It is going to undermine some of the forces, proxy forces that Cameroon has recruited to engage in kidnapping for ransom and engage in assassination. This credible force, while projecting confidence at the international level, will also deter certain activities that undermine the credibility of our war of independence.
Okay.
But this is the best thing that it's going to do. It's going to restore confidence in the struggle. It's going to increase the hope of our people. It's going to increase the believability in our desire to be free. And then it is going to send a message to Cameroon that game over. That message alone can push Cameroonians themselves to say, well, we can do something this once the Eritreans capture. We have a game plan. Forgive us Ambazonians. This war of liberation is not sponsored by any other country. We are not tapping oil, gold, or diamond from any mine to market it. We have not mortgaged your destiny for money to invest in your defense and your liberation. We do not have a renegade general who had amassed wealth who can simply just put in $100,000. We do not have a renegade and angry minister who have suffered also humiliation from the regime and is willing to pay back and invest in our struggle. This struggle, the primary investors are the ordinary people going about their activities, willing to be free. That is also an insurance policy for post-independence political stability.
Wow. We're going to open the lines for those that have questions for you, because this is also an opportunity for Ambazonians to have a direct interaction with you. We'd like also to, while you were away, acknowledge our family that contributed $5,000. The one that the group of Ambazonians, dedicated Ambazonians in Atlanta, that sent in $4,300. I also acknowledge them. So while you were away, we're going to open the line for any Ambazonian that they probably have a question, they need clarification. People on Ground Zero probably want to talk to you. We know we are streaming live on ACN TV right now. So the Ambazonians watching on the territory, listening keenly to what you're saying in terms of their uncertainty that things are really working, and they can count on you. They can count on all of us. They can count on the diaspora. They can count on the forces that this is going to work. What would you tell an average Ambazonian watching in the bushes, in the villages, in the refugee camps, a soldier watching you right now? Would this really work?
It has worked. It's not a promise, it's a reality. Look at where we were 4 years ago. It has worked. You know, there is something about victory. Only those who believe in it grab it.
Power on. Bluetooth pairing.
For those of you fighting,
Bluetooth connected.
You know, we aren't, as I said the last time somebody called me,
Bluetooth pairing.
And some people say we are warmongers. And I laughed.
Bluetooth connected.
We've been up in arms just for 3 years plus. Cameroon has been up in arms for close to 60 years. And they are still referring to Paul Biya as President Paul Biya. And those who've risen up just in the past 3 years, we call them warmongers. Ambazonians have to understand this. The Scots will not rise up in arms against England for their independence, even though they have a treaty almost 300 years old. The Quebecois will not rise up in arms, against the Canadians for the purposes of their independence, because they have established constitutional pathways to determine who want to lead their lives.
We have a caller. Coming in. Good evening, comrade.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening for you.
My doctor is, sorry, I think my doctor is, my question about Dr. Ayaba Cho, it's Aben calling. I have a very, we'll get some question for ask Ayaba Cho, because I want me clarify for we why it be say political activities like funded one run for that regional election. Why it be say it still be allowed? Because from the way I see, the main problem now that say we still get political activities within the territory where it favor la Republic to Cameroon. So now the first thing I want to make Dr. clarify, so what the ATF do. And then my second question, now say me doctor different, me help with differentiate between blacklegs and enablers and what need for be done between those two groups. And then my third question, now say what to be the budget now for ATF and how many troops we get. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Comrade Aben.
Well, thanks a lot, comrade. Let me just finalize my response to the question that you asked before. Mr. Weaver said in the Parliament of the Occupier, you know, he made a fundamental statement in his renowned speech in the House of the Oppressor. You know, where peaceful change is made impossible. You know, I mean, violent change is inevitable. Wherever there is injustice, people rise up in resistance against it. We have been denied every opportunity to resolve our differences with Cameroon in a peaceful manner on little issues like having a GCE board, on little issues like a university. We've been denied on little issues like, you know, the language that we speak in our schools, the legal system. Cameroon has basically used violence against our people. And each time our people have risen up, whether during the democratization period to demand political change, more political freedom, the right to free speech, Cameroon has responded with utmost brutality. The use of force. And where force has failed, it has engaged in bribery, manipulation of political leaders, and it has basically succeeded to defeat the domestic opposition that it had. And even through our liberation struggle for the past 30 years, it has either bribed people like the Munzus, dissuaded people like the Ekontang Elat, undermined people like the Ndoki Muketes, provided them opportunities within the Fecafoot. So where violence has not worked, ultimately it has used bribery, infiltration, and intoxication. And what has been the cost on us, the lives of our people? We came across as weak, being unable to defend ourselves. We came across as beggars. The international system does not sympathize with beggars. The international system does not simply inherit, desperation. You have to demonstrate to the international system that you are able to fight for yourself. You are able to fight for the cause. You are able to claim what you desire. Only that determination will give you the respect and possibly the support. It is our determination in the past 4 years to build an army from within, to resist Cameroon's ability to organize elections in our territory, to ghost our cities every Monday, to undermine their ability to organize the nation's cup that has won us the admiration and respect of the international system, and to know that these people are ready to stand up and die for what they believe in. And the struggle for independence is not simply an agitation where you agitate the international system, make some moves, and then you slow down hoping that they are going to give you what you want. Their primary interest first is to maintain the status quo. The status quo guarantees stability. It guarantees predictability. They are not interested in the creation of new states because it creates uncertainty, it creates chaos. They only do that once they see that the people are determined to fight to their death to establish that new state. And that is what we have told our people time and again. We have not come here to manipulate you, to tell you that it's going to be easy, it's going to be a walk in a park. We have told you that know your enemy. Beer does not blink. You can put ghost town, civil disobedience for 10 months. Beer tells you when Yaoundé breathes, Cameroon is okay. Right. You can fight against government delegates. They are still going to impose it using the military. This is the first time when we stood against them, method for method, ideal for ideal. We won the respect of the international system, and we cannot blink if we were dealing with a regime that can capitulate, that can say, okay, at this time, I'm willing to engage in credible discussion to realize your objective. We can say, let's step back and hope on their good faith. What has been Cameroon's good faith? From 1961, Ayijo simply invaded our territory, dismantled our economy, break down our political system, murdered those who oppose them. That is, got our resources to build an army, develop its own country, and we live in abject poverty. 60 years.
The attitude of Cameroon has not changed. It is only our attitude that is changing. From the Fonchas, the Munas, all of them, they kept changing their own attitude. Cameroon remained focused on occupation, integration of Ambazonians into its own political sphere. Until this generation rose up and said, no, the method has to change. We are dealing with a beast. We are dealing with killers who capture soldiers, put their boots on their head and fire bullets in their heads. Let them feel the pain that we felt. Let them also understand what it means to live, in uncertainty. Understand our stance. It is based on how Cameroon functions. It is based on how the international system perceives resistance. And I think we've done well. This is not the time to blink. This is the time for us to galvanize ourselves. Let Cameroon understand there is no letting up. We aren't gonna negotiate. You are the president of Cameroon in our territory. You have to get the hell out. It's not your country. With respect to what our comrade Abeng has asked, there aren't any political activities of Cameroon. You see, this thing is not the way we look at it. Maybe you find they talk about the constituting the House of Cheese and stuff. No, it will not happen. It will not happen. So we understand early December they want to organize some regional elections. It's not going to happen. We will deploy our forces. We will shut down the entire system. We stop presidential elections for La Republique. Municipal elections, it's not going to be old men call themselves chiefs and forms. That will be constituted. We'll pick them up and put them in the public square. This is no joke. You betray the aspirations of our people, you are going down. It is not us creating, a scenario. Every nation, the British, the Americans, the French, never tolerated collaborators who sided with those who oppressed them. So let him be confident that we are monitoring the situation. We are in early November. We know what's going on. I forwarded to the War Council today, the program of what Mr. Bia and his thugs are planning. The War Council will debate on it. It will have discussion with the cabinet, and we will look at what we are supposed to do. Our forces are ready. Our forces are ready. We are providing them with what they require, and thanks to those people who are committing. Let me look at a couple of stuff here. So I want Comrade Abeng to be. Just a moment, yes. I want Comrade Abeng to be confident. Yeah, I'll be putting up something here, but I want to. Comrade Abeng asked a question about what is our budget. Our budget is fluid. Our budget is fluid. It's not static. It is also based on the activities of the regime. The defense stabilization plan that we have requires $500,000 US. It's not going to be static. It's going to be dynamic, changing with time. In terms of the number of forces that we have on the ground, that is not something we have to put in public. We have enough forces, and we are still recruiting. We are still recruiting a lot of other forces to make sure that we can have enough men to stabilize different areas. Great. All right, let's continue. I wanted to share something with Mr. Abeng to understand where we are and our level of preparedness. One of the things I would like to clarify is this: the liberation struggle is not a movie. It's not a movie. You are not watching a movie. And so on a daily basis, Ambazonians expect fighting with La Republique. That gives them, things to talk about. This is not a movie. When you watch Ambazonians march on October 1, they march in territories that we have a high level of dynamic control. And you don't expect them to be fighting around there all the time. Once you've established dynamic control in sufficient areas, you move to the next level, and that's where we are headed to. I don't want to talk about the details of that, but people must understand that this is not a movie. We've been caught in the drama. We've been caught in the daily messages, videos, and pictures that sometimes we become a bit addicted. When we find our soldiers killed, Ambazonians are talking for 2 days. After that, they forget, they fall back. When we attack La Republique, we are talking every day and everybody is like excited. And so people start demanding, when are you fighting? I need to watch that movie. This is not a movie. It's a war of liberation. It requires a strategy. You undermine the ability of the occupier for political governance, undermine its ability for economic exploitation, undermine its ability to localize, the resistance and make it a domestic matter that it can adjudicate. We have achieved all of those monumental feats, and we have to move to the next level, stabilize the forces to guarantee security for our people, expand perimeters, and project power to the international community to recognize us as credible parties that can take care of the ungovernable spaces. And I think we must stop watching the movie in our head and asking for the movies that we want to watch. There will be no political activities of Cameroon within our territory that is going to undermine our territorial integrity. We're going to stop it. We must not succeed in all also, and accept that there are battles we will lose. But the war has been won. We just need to move it to the next stage and get Cameroon to succumb. Even in the US election, we all notice. Sometimes the enemy doesn't just get out and say, I've lost, I have to go. In most wars of independence, the enemy never just get vanquished on the battlefield. They find a way to negotiate themselves out, as they did in South Sudan. They find a way to do that as they did in Eritrea through referenda. So these are methods that occupiers, face-saving methods that they put in place to get themselves out. That will be dealt with during the period of negotiation. For now, we have to maintain the gains we've had, expand our outreach, begin to guarantee, give confidence in our people.
All right, my fellow Ambazonians, we'll get the chance for talk with the leader today. He go be out almost on a weekly basis, because now in a very serious time for all a time for do the hard work. Any person who want to make a commitment, if you go directly for the TTOF website, once you go for the front page, if you go there, you just make a one-time commitment, or if you go there, you go do a month, you go register, and you start to do monthly. The program we don't launch and for all it is 250 AK for ground. When at the general assessment that they don't send them for e-desk, they don't approve the plan, 250 AK. 500 Ambazonians. If you make this thing happen for all we. If you know if you give $1,000, you give $500. You find another person, they give $500, una two, una give 1,000. You know if you give 500, give 250. Find 300 other people. When I give to 250, go come on $1,000. We need to get this done for our people then. I put on suffer for far too long. Not been a political game this. We would wait until La Republique, before we do. We'll get for follow our plan them. Get these people out of our land. If you did for America, now cash app that from my front, just use the cash app. You make the commitment, send me a screenshot. We will hide your identity. Just call one of your names, just for honor you. At the end of the day, we go send every person we don't donate. You go receive an official receipt. You go get an official receipt. from the Governing Council of Ambazonia Financial Department, and with a thank you letter. Ambazonians go get accountability in terms of materials and what you don't do with their money. Because now egg of CDs, every dollar own at the game, they translate them immediately for materials. They don't do them from day one. And that's why they be the best. Now the most accountable and transparent structure, Ambazonia will get them. And we want take them. We take them, we put them for ground zero for the kind of country we want get them. When I don't see how they don't build the structure, when I see the leadership, when I see ADF for ground. That's why they still stand strong. That's why it be so powerful. Now because of the structure we don't put up. So when I get confidence, say as when I make a commitment, every week we translate them into materials. When they don't approve what it happen, what we don't really bring them in, we not be very happy for what the leader the builder for when for down there. We not be very happy. But in due time, they go show now. So the lines will be open. We don't miss 2 calls. I think one comrade don't call from the United States. Make we call you back. You don't try for call with plenty times. Maybe you get a question or you got a commitment for making for it directly as we do online.
I can just ask the question: the difference between a black leg and
that was Aben.
Yes. They are the same. We have our own terminologies to describe an enabler. An enabler is a black leg. But there is a little nuance. Some enablers are active enablers who actively, try to undermine the resistance. They are passive enablers who, by simply their position, they are enabling, the occupation of our homeland. And there is an acute form which we describe as black leg. Those are they are spies, who work for the enemy's military, to identify our fighters, to locate our bases, and to give access to the public, to murder our people. Spies are mostly local recruits. Blacklegs are mostly local recruits by the military to enable them have more information about our activities. They are all, they coexist. They are dangerous. What we should do with them? Every enabler has a price to pay. That's what I call treason. You face the death penalty in times of resistance.
Power on. Bluetooth pairing.
Hello?
Bluetooth connected.
Hello?
Yeah, comrade.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I was glad.
All right, we can hear you clearly.
Thank you for the great job.
We are live with the leader.
Yeah.
You probably have something to say to the leader, or you have a question, or you have your commitment to make.
I have a question for the leader.
Right on.
I want to start by thanking him, thanking all of you for the great job.
You're
most
welcome.
Yeah, I have just a question for the leader.
Go ahead, sir.
Sir, I don't know. I wanted to ask this question.
Go ahead and ask
There
the
is
question.
this first question first that comes. Why are you asking for 500 AKs, and meanwhile there is a helicopter, Black Hawk, that can shoot all the enemies, put them down? Why don't we raise the money up rather than, because if you want 500 AKs, we should have been asking for 1 million AKs so we can at least get 500. Because if you ask 500, they will give 200 or 250 or 100. If you ask 1 million AK, we might raise up to 500. What do you think?
Thanks a lot. I love that orientation. I know there is a comrade that made an audio and said it probably is stupid to think that 500,000 US dollars is gonna end this war. No, it's not gonna end this war, and we are not pretending to think that way. We are talking about the defense stabilization plan. It's a specific project. It has its basis which we cannot explain. Probably will end up raising more, and it is gonna move us to the next level. We cannot get an Apache helicopter. I will be fantasizing here, and there is no precedence that we can also look at, even in struggles where that were highly funded. That they definitely want to give you an Apache helicopter. At least at a certain stage, we may reach that level.
Excuse me, sir.
Go ahead.
If it's possible if it is possible for us to get the money for the Sikorsky High Rock Black Hawk, is it possible we get it down there?
Come again. You mean to get the money or to get the Black Hawk?
If it's possible to get the cash to purchase the Black Hawk, is it possible we put it down there?
I don't want to talk about that. Everything is possible. I'm engaged in some sophisticated discussions where, when you are in this stuff, you are open to a lot of things. You're open to a lot of things. Everything is possible. And in terms of what you want to acquire, some are more difficult because they open up the Pandora's box, the realm of our possibilities. But if someone says we can commit funds for a Black Hawk, we will find it and we will know how to move it.
All right. Comrade, did you get the question?
So we will, I appreciate that. So we will just, we don't have the chance yet to get it down there, even if the money is available.
No, I said we have it. If we wanna move, I don't want. This is moving into uncharted areas. What I can assure Ambazonians is, sitting where I am sitting as a leader, everything can be done.
So
okay, sir.
Everything can be done when Ambazonians make the funds available.
Okay.
All right. So after you finish,
right. Thank you very much, sir.
You have finished your question. You live in the United States. How much money do you want? How much do you want to commit?
I don't want to commit, sir. I want to talk to him. I will reach out to him directly.
All right. This is my number you have called. Reach out to me directly. We'll set up a good call, and then we'll move forward from there. Is that okay?
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you.
You're blessed.
You're blessed.
Please keep up the good work.
All right, bro. Thanks.
God bless you, sir. God bless you, comrade. Let me add something to this. When you are engaged in establishing, a political entity that will be recognized across time and space and respected, you are open to a lot. I also think there is a failure in our part. I would say specifically to myself in leadership, to be able to secure possibilities for us beyond our own domestic jurisdiction. But I also think the intensity of our resistance has made us feel like we've been fighting for 10 years. Our own liberation struggle is unique, extremely unique. The possibilities are there, but they also come with a caveat. They come with a price. But Ambazonians should be assured that we are not just sitting here and fantasizing about liberation and an independent Ambazonia. We are working extremely very hard, navigating through the international system and looking for partners, not only for the liberation, but for reconstruction. because we cannot live as an island. And I think we've made a lot of progress. God willing, the signs will be there for our people to see. It takes time. We must be patient. We must accept that we will remain the primary investor in our own liberation. But God willing, help is going to come in from somewhere.
All right, my fellow Ambazonians, now, today, the leader get the time for Can't Talk for all week. The lines will be open. We'll take a few more questions. We'll take this call again from Europe. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Mami Hano.
Hi. Hello. I just wanted to say that I've been following this struggle from Copenhagen. I'm Ayo.
Okay.
And I just wanted to say thank you for doing an amazing job. And yeah, we are following you and we are supporting as much as we can financially and of course in our thoughts and everything. So thank you a lot. I don't per se have a question, just wanted to extend my gratitude and I'm expecting a son and I would like to someday be able to bring him to Ambazonia for him to see where his roots are and meet his family down there. So can't wait.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Thanks
a lot. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Thank you. We wish you good health during these difficult times of Corona. Keep the baby safe.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I will.
Yeah.
And likewise.
Thanks a lot.
Have a great Sunday.
Thank you very much, Ayo. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Ambazonians, now the excitement that now we're in-law that we come up for that side for Copenhagen. Now our in-law that, now our sister-in-law that, it carry Ambazonia Pikin. It follow the struggle for a Pikin in future. Even though it come out for better country, it follow the struggle for make sure say when he born Ambazonia Pikin, if he go for a free homeland. Now the passion plenty. So sister, we thank you plenty from Copenhagen.
I think there are millions of Ambazonians out here who look forward to going to a home. You know, I've never had a La Republique passport, but I can understand what the kind of pain, people have holding a passport. I've never been to Douala Airport. I've never been to Simalen Airport, but I understand how Ambazonians feel holding a foreign object, landing in a foreign airport, and being treated the way that they have always been treated. And being able also to recall that many years behind, we had airports of our own, places where, travelers are respected when they come in. You are welcome as a citizen of your homeland, and you are not extorted. You are not treated like an alien. You are not treated simply like a liability that should be exploited. You are not seen like some people wanted to make this struggle, a struggle between diaspora and ground zero. Do you know what it means to live in exile? Without the diaspora, there's zero. Trust me. The day the diaspora says, all right, be on your own, what you're going to have on ground zero is continuous chaos until La Republic defeats them. So we are one people. The people living out here are feeling the pain of a diaspora life, exile life, working daily. You have grandchildren who are not able to see their grandparents. We have people. I've been in exile for 22 years. You know the pain it feels when, as a last child in family, not being able to even see the family. That tells you the pain. Exile is no biscuit. exile, when you live in ground zero, you just feel like, okay, flying into the United States or into Europe, that's cool. After living here for a couple of years, you lose yourself. For my almost 22 years out, I have never dreamt once. I've never had a dream where I am in Europe. I've never had a dream where I'm mingling with white people. No, all my dreams I am in my homeland. It's a miracle. That tells you only our physical bodies are out here. And to our in-law who called, let her be assured, this generation will make it possible for all the children born in exile, like Princess in the UK, hoping, anticipating to have a place. And we can give them that hope. We can give them that hope that it is possible. I think we have done well, and we will restore the dignity of our people. We will give back to our people their country. So whenever they hold their passport, whenever they have problems, whether in Indonesia, the Ambazonian government will have an obligation and responsibility to see that they are fine. If you die in the United States, the Ambazonian government will have an obligation, if your family wants it, to repatriate your body and be buried in your homeland. You should be proud to be a citizen of a country, and more so a country that you fought to establish.
All right. My fellow Ambazonians, I think say we don't come for the end of the time where we'll be scheduled for the leader for be for here. Would we? You don't answer our questions. We go continue. For all the people who don't send message, say we could contact them for back. We'll go the contact them for back. Anybody want to make a donation, you go for the TTO website, you go make a donation there directly. If you're there for America, you use Cash App. If you send me a message, and then we will send you the PayPal where you feel use them. You send your donations for there. As always, one time kuna plenty. No other call, no what come in, no message, no what come in for the leader. So we go leave them for there. We want to tell the leader say we'll be very thankful. Say as he over be busy, it is still find time for can talk for our people them, for can mobilize, for can inspire our people them, for can educate, for give clarity on issue, for build confidence, for talk for our papa them, talk for mommy them, talk for prisoners, talk for the one the way they did for refugees, talk for the one the way they did for bush, talk for the one the way they don't lost loved ones. Not been an easy work, and we'll be very grateful. Say we'll get a leader, we get that kind of energy, and it be so stable, and it be very focused. So Dr. Ayaba, leader of our War of Independence, we thank you plenty. Say you take the time today for can join me, make you get this story, and make you talk for our people them directly. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks to Ambazonians, and good evening.
Good night, everyone.